The Fed's job is given to it by law, which is maximize employment and stabilize prices. That's the dual mandate for the Fed. That's exactly what we look at, and that is only what we look at. There's nothing in the mandate that says, go make sure that the market feels comfortable. And some days the market's way down and some days it's way up, and we watch it, but that's not what should drive central bank behavior.
Austin Goolsbee is the president of the Chicago Federal Reserve, among those voting members who will influence interest rates. And there was a move on Monday when we were in a panic free fall, when the Dow fell more than 1,000 points, that the Fed had to move fast and big, and the sooner the better. That dissipated somewhat by the end of the week. I wonder how Kevin O'Leary feels about where we are now. O'Leary Ventures chairman, Shark Tank investor, really is a brilliant guy and has a great perspective on the world. Kevin, good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
You know, this was a scary week for the markets. You'd never know the way they ended up. You'd almost think nothing happened this week, on the week essentially unchanged. But it's what happened on Monday in response to a jobs report that had some people thinking we were going into a meltdown. Are you in that camp?
No, you're right. It was Monday around 11:15 when the rumor flashed to institutional trading desks that the Fed was going to have an emergency meeting. That's bad. That's never good. That's never a good signal. And the idea was to take it down, raise by 50 basis points. It was all rumor, innuendo, turned out not to be true. The jobs report is one data set. People have calmed down about that. I'd argue that we have something else in the market right now. It's called policy volatility. The lack of policy coming out of the Harris camp, and I understand why, and I think she has her own strategy, and she's not going to talk to reporters. I get it. So many teams, including mine, and I'd never done this before, went to go look at Minnesota because that VP candidate has more of a track record on economic policy, and we tried to glean from it what the policy might be. Usually, vice presidents are inconsequential, but there's more track record there than Harris has. So I have the numbers now, and I got to tell you, I don't like what I see. And I'm trying to be bipartisan here, but it's one of the 8 states where capital is fleeing and people are fleeing and jobs are fleeing. I was shocked. I don't have a data center project in Minnesota, so I didn't ever have this data till Friday. Let me give you a couple of data points. The state tax there is 9.8%. Then Walz put on a super tax for people that are investing more than $1 million. So all of his retirees have moved out of the state, billions of dollars. And I'll give you an example. The South Dakota should give an award to him. They're growing jobs in South Dakota 4 times faster than Walz is growing them in Minnesota, and so is North Dakota. So he is a great governor for Texas. He's a great governor for Florida. He's a great governor for South Dakota and North Dakota. But he's not a good governor for Minnesota because he has taken the job creation there and wiped it out. Professional services, engineering, accounting, all of these subcategories. The only growth area is social work and healthcare, which is state funded. So he's building for the lack of a better word, a social state that is losing its capital.
You might be right on all that, but he is the running mate.
I am right. I'm not might be right.
No. He is the VP candidate. I'm saying it doesn't necessarily translate into the presidential candidate doing the same. But I do want to get your sense of this whole craziness with the markets. If they had picked up, would it have been your sense that it would have been damaging to the party in power? Or are we past that and now we're back not really looking at the issues like the one you just raised on Minnesota, that is somehow gone? What do you make of it?
Well, the other issue is the volatility around the market capitalization of just a few tech stocks. The S&P is overweighted with 50 PE, price-earning ratio, mega cap stocks. Now, their growth rates were supported by good earnings, around 12%, but that's still very expensive. So when you had that massive sell down, it was really mostly those stocks, and it took down in sympathy others. We are going to have more volatility, both on PE and policy volatility. It's important that Harris comes out with economic policy and starts doing some interviews. I'm sure she will after the convention. I get the euphoria. It's okay, but she's got to talk about policy.
Got it. Kevin, great catching up with you. Kevin O'Leary on all of that.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.